Hey everybody, welcome to Chop It Up with Stumps. We got two great local comedians.
D-Lo Brooks.
Comedian Shy Tony.
Hey, thanks for coming here today, guys. So tell me a little about your career and what you get into.
Well, I definitely been doing comedy for a few years. It's been a very interesting experience. It's been ups, it's been downs, but you know, man, my brother here a little while ago, and we've been hooking up since. We got two other members, and we just been rolling, man. We just been rolling.
Yeah, our other two comics couldn't make it today. I'm gonna give y'all a shout out though, J. Ron and Lazarus Ham. Another two great comics, but
yes, sir.
Yeah, me personally, I've been doing comedy going on 5 years now, so it's been a journey. It's been a cool journey, man. Met some great people, great comics. Get to travel.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
I tried doing stand-up. It's more like sit down.
All right.
Oh, you got to stay working at it, man.
It's about dedication.
It's not an easy sport.
At least I thought I was funny. At least somebody did anyway. Especially after a few of our drinks. But anyway, so where do you guys get your material from? For me, I got a lot of it from my family and my kids.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, my family gives me a plethora of material. I won't say I have a dysfunctional family. I said they're dyslexic. Everything is backwards. I said it.
You and me both.
But nowadays, what is a functional family? I mean,
there you go.
Right.
And like, what is normal?
Exactly.
Yeah,
I feel like the internet has really brought all us closer to understand that we all got problems.
Hey, we are all messed up in some way, shape,
or
form.
Oh yeah. Very damaged people in the world. But
yes, but it's like when people say my family's dysfunctional. Like, okay, so what makes it dysfunctional?
There you go.
Right.
I need something new.
Uh-oh.
Mr. Rogers' neighborhood.
Uh-oh. Welcome to our neighborhood.
Hey, what's happening, my man?
This is Jamel right
much.
here. He's
Nice to meet you. Tony.
I already know him.
But so where do you get a lot of your inspiration from?
My inspiration, you know, growing up in Chicago, man, like that city alone is very inspiring.
I feel like comedians have to at least shine light, if not push the envelope when it comes to certain topics, because we are the unfiltered truth about the society and what's going on today. Music, culture, influence, whatever that is, I feel like I can make you smile, or I make you second think about things that might be difficult for others to talk about. So,
yeah. Comedy is originally a dark form of art. So basically, we just trying to shine light on dark subjects and stuff like that. So
I was living in a neighborhood with a woman named Sylvia Mitchell, and she said, knowing me in everyday life, imagine I have a regular job, she was like, hey, you're really funny, you should do stand-up. And in my mind, I was like, why would you think I want to do stand-up? Like, I've never even thought of that. She was like, because you're generally funny. So she put together a show, but she was already had a show in production. She says, hey, I will put you on this show. And I was like, well, what am I supposed to do for jokes? She's like, go home and sit down and write. And I was like, okay. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know how I was going about doing it. I went home, I basically studied, I wrote some jokes down, and she put me on that stage, and it was like, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. It was like a coming to Jesus moment. It was like an aha moment. It's like it's like remembering something that I forgot. It was such an awakening feeling. Like, this is what I should be doing. And I've been pursuing that drug for the rest of my life. Like it was awesome. And I found that I really found my space when I can write about certain topics and I can give my opinion and make you think maybe I was thinking about that differently. Maybe I should rethink what I always had a belief about. So I really give her all praise. Every time I get on the microphone, I will be telling you thank you. So that's definitely how I got started.
I've been through some rough stuff. Like, you know, I done been to jail a lot. I grew up from the south side of Chicago, so I made it through that. And just to overcome that stuff, man, you know, it just gives you hope and
Now it takes strength too.
strength, and it also helps you motivate other people who's going through tough things in their life as well. So that right there is my motivation, is to inspire others as well. So stay in school, kids. Don't get in trouble.
After school program.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Damon Reynolds here on Chopping It Up at Stumps. Now today we have a very, very special guest who I had a chance to talk to before we got on camera. Her name is Gabrielle Mays, and she has a very captivating story. Gabrielle, how you doing today?
I'm good.
Good.
Yeah,
good.
even better now that I've met you.
Yes. We had a great
yeah,
conversation that I really want to carry over to this part of the show. And so basically, let's just jump right into it.
Sure.
Tell us your story and the many roles that you told me about that you have in life.
Come from an immigrant family. My father was Jewish, grew up in Holland, Holocaust survivor. My mother was British. And I traveled a lot. I learned a lot about music from him. Mm-hmm. He was a pianist. And I lived in Israel. I lived in Singapore, Italy, Paris, Norway, Trinidad. Wow. Yeah. All these places, and at the same time I was working as a musician and teaching. I'm a teacher, I'm a performer, I'm a comedian, I'm an actor. I do all sorts of stuff.
So
anything to make a buck. And then, traveling a lot and spending a lot of time with different people, it's just very, very natural.
Right.
And then moving to Richmond, it just kind of confused me how everybody was so divided. I mean, not just in the black and white community, but also just as musicians, you have like little musical theater people stay here, and you have the classical people that stay here. And so, I wanted to create an environment where people could, like, interdisciplinary environment where people could sort of come together. So, I've created something called Voice Club, which kind of brings the disciplines together. And as a result, people from different walks of life, different cultures, and so on and so forth. For example, we had Taiwanese flamenco.
Hello, I'm Lamitha Reed Guy, owner of Memories in Song. Memories in Song is a music production company that captures, creates, and customizes original lullabies for infants and toddlers. We can make sure that you have one of these beautiful heirloom pieces in your home. Just provide us with the information and we'll go in the studio and customize your lullaby just for you. This is one of our beautiful adjacency products that you can get with your customized lullaby. As you can see, the picture of little Judah up front, and then on the inside, we have your actual lullaby encased. And then in the back, if you decide to get the DVD as well, we'll include that as well. These are 4 samples of our premier collections. The first is By the Sea. Our second one is very beautiful. As you can see, the jewel tones in the front, perfect for any mom or grandma, or even your little princess. Third, we have our little ballerina with her tutu, very cute, and frills on the front. And last but not least, we have, for any little boy or girl, imagine, dream, believe. Live every moment, laugh every day, and love with all your heart. Your family can have one of these custom, beautiful lullabies to cherish for generations to come. Memories in Song, a music production company that captures, creates, and customizes original lullabies for infants and toddlers. Thank you.
If you think that old car in your driveway isn't good for much, Ronald McDonald House Charities of Richmond would like to turn your thinking around. Please donate your vehicle and help provide a home away from home for families with seriously ill, hospitalized children. We'll pick it up for you, and a hefty tax reduction might be rolling your way. CW Richmond would like to thank CDS Tractor Trailer Training for sponsoring the Ronald McDonald House Car Donation Program, keeping families close.
First, understand that we get it done. We don't run to competition, we just watch them run. So you can place your bets, homie, we already won. We defended every right when they...
Hello, I'm Jimmy with Stumps Pig and Pint, located on Stork Jackson Ward. We specialize in slow cooked meats, handmade sides, and awesome homemade desserts. Cooking from the heart to feed your soul.
/ singers on the last one, and we have spoken word, we do all sorts of stuff. So I'm very interested in the arts, and I'm very interested in preserving the arts, because it's sacred. And we, getting the community involved, and getting also people involved from various different disciplines, because the more you have that, the better you can more networking
Right.
people can do, the more support system you have.
Exactly.
So, I mean, that's my goal.
Yes,
Is
yes.
to be somewhat of a mentor at this point in my life, since I've raised so many kids and
Yes.
I've worked all over the place. And again, what I've also been doing is, because Richmond is very rich in architectural spaces, you know, that have, in some sense, dilapidated spaces. So I managed to get in, and we've done concerts there. So we did a concert of spirituals, for example. It was really cool. We did it at night, and like all the trains going by and the cicadas
Wow.
going and stuff.
I can imagine that was very,
Yeah,
very...
yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
So to generate an excitement and to bring our community together, mainly, because that's a serious, it's lacking. You know,
Wow,
this
wow.
sort of connection with people. And so, yeah, that's and my goal right now is to do that and support the artist community.
So Gabrielle, you mentioned that you do the worst opera singer. Is the show? Is that what I heard?
Well, actually, the play is called Souvenir.
Okay.
And it's kind of a poignant, hilarious comedy about the life of this woman who existed in, she was from New York, and she was very, very wealthy socialite. And she catapulted to fame because she was so bad.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, her name was Florence Foster Jenkins.
Okay.
And so it's a two-man show written by Stephen Temperley, and yeah, it's just about the relationship between her pianist and her.
Okay.
And she actually sang solo at Carnegie Hall and sold out.
Wow.
Yeah, she was
She was
terrible.
that terrible.
She was terrible,
Okay.
but she was so theatrically terrible that people would, you know, they died to go see her play.
Okay.
She wanted to sing.
So-
They wanted to see her play.
Well, before we move ahead, more in
Yeah.
the background,
Yes.
what we want you to do is give us a tidbit
Oh.
of that character.
Are you sure?
No pressure.
Caro Nome, written by the wonderful Verdi, don't you know? I mean, he's just wonderful. Caro Nome, che io cor mi di sempre mentor. Oh, not bad, eh? So the show is called Souvenir, and it's happening February 20th, running all the way till March 7th.
Okay.
So hopefully you can come and see it. It's very, very, very funny. And it's being directed by somebody who's won the Artsy Award twice for Best Director, and Levi Mirovich, he's like a really well-known actor in the city, so yeah.
Well, Gabrielle, thank you so
Oh,
much
thank you,
for
Damon.
joining us today on Chopping It Up at Stumps. And listen, please, if you could get the people your handle, your Facebook, whatever it may be, where they can find you at.
You can find me, Gabrielle Mays, www.gabriellemays.com, and Into the Woods on www.intothewoods.online.
So that was the very talented Gabrielle Mays. If you guys could stay tuned for the positive word coming up soon.
So he takes his wife into his lovely suite, lays her on the bed, and begins to get undressed. She said, "Woman, I'm about to rock you well." She said, "Ooh, baby, let's go." He started to take off his shirt. He takes off his shoes, and she notices his feet is jacked up. Corns, bunions, and all type of onions. She said, "Baby, what happened to your feet?" He said, "Oh, when I was young, I had polio." She said, "No, stupid, don't you mean polio?" He said, "No, baby, I had polio." She said, "Okay, let's go." He continues to get undressed. He takes off his elbow pads because he's old. He takes off his pants. She noticed he had jacked up knees. She said, "Man, listen, what happened to your knees?" He said, "Babe, when I was young, I had the measles." She said, "Stupid, don't you mean the measles?" He said, "No, I had the measles." She said, "Okay, let's go." He finally gets fully undressed in front of his brand new bride, and she says, "Oh my God, please tell me you had smallpox." I'm D'Angelo. You should follow me on Instagram. I tell dumb shit like that. I tell suggestive things like that all the time. You can follow me at Instagram at Instagram. Is that a thing? Do people go to at Instagram? Is that just random? I did that all wrong. It doesn't matter. You can follow me on Instagram at Mind Murmurs. That's MIND_murs. Thank you for your time.
Hi, I'm Michelle Wilson of Mom Michelle's Cafe. One of the questions I get asked often is about our artwork here at our cafe. We support the arts in our community, and artists will come in and hang their artwork for sale. 100% of the proceeds go back to the artist. We also mentor young entrepreneurs and help guide them in their startup businesses, and in some cases even house those businesses here. We serve great food and we serve our community, so come and get to know me.
Hi, my name is Ashley James, and my mom, Tina Andrews, started Adore Children and Family Services 10 years ago.
There are over 5,000 children in foster care in Virginia, and not enough families to care for them. We need your help to care for children in your community. Please contact Adore and open your home and your hearts to children in foster care who need your love and support. Children grow better in families. Can we count on you?
Call us today.
My beautiful souls. My name is Janaea Aaliyah, and I am a cardiac nurse who does traveling around the United States. Some of my hobbies include eating phenomenally good food, shopping of course, and I love to do fitness. You can find me on my Instagram or my Facebook at Janaea Aaliyah. So hit me up, you guys. I love y'all.
If I slip into the ocean.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Damon Reynolds on Chopping It Up at Stumps. Happy New Year to you. Listen, I heard a very impactful statement from Pastor William Curtis in Pittsburgh at my home church. He said that true commitment is doing what you said you would do long after the mood you set it in has passed. In this statement, you will find the answers to many of the things that you've set out to do in 2020. Some of you have committed to joining a gym and losing some weight, or maybe gaining some muscle. Some of you have committed to changing your financial habits. Some of you have committed to being a better person in whatever way that looks like for you. Now think about this. How did you feel when you first set those goals and commitments? When you wrote down those goals and aspirations for 2020, think about how you felt during that time. Here's my encouragement. Your goals will only go as far as the discipline that you set around them. Sometimes things become inconvenient, and you have those days where you say, you know what, I don't feel like it, or I don't want to do this. So here's my biggest thing. So again, true commitment is doing what you said you would do long after the mood you set it in has passed. Simply put, don't let your goals and aspirations for 2020 be derailed by a mood of I don't feel like it. Remember why you chose those goals and keep the faith. God bless and have a strong week.
Yeah, man, so, last summer, 2019, was a little rough year for me, man, dealing with these job situations and stuff. And believe it or not, man, I was working at Popeyes, and let me tell you something. You got to be a gangster to work at Popeyes, man. And they tell you that in the interview, the manager asked me, he said, can you fry chicken? I said, I'm black, of course I can fry chicken. He said, all right, good. Second and most importantly, can you fight? I was like, oh, yeah, I got a little skills. I'm pretty decent, I'm like, cool. He said, good, you hired. So I'm like, all right, cool. So, working at Popeyes, working the drive-thru. Everybody coming through ordering chicken sandwiches, until we ran out. Now, I didn't know how dangerous chicken was until we ran out those chicken sandwiches. So one guy get into it with me. He like, how y'all run out of chicken sandwiches? I was like, well, excuse me, sir, we ran out of chicken. What's the problem? He's like, man, I ought to come in there and knock you out. I said, you come up in here, we gonna fight. So he actually came up in the store, and the manager looked at me. He said, remember I asked you, did you know how to fight? Training. put it to action. So we in Popeyes rumbling, man. I'm boxing this food. I'm boom, 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 boom. We ain't got no more chicken. Boom, 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 boom. I was like, man, this is crazy, man. I'm like, this is a very toxic work environment. You know, I said, man, y'all need to take that down to KFC, cause we ain't gonna play with you over here at Popeyes, you know. So yeah, man, you gotta be a gangster to work at Popeyes Chicken, baby, for real. So, you know, kids, please stay in school so you don't have to wind up working at Popeyes Chicken and fighting for your life.
Hello, I'm Jimmy with Stumps Pig and Pint, located in Stork Jackson Ward. We specialize in slow-cooked meats, handmade sides, and awesome homemade desserts. Cooking from the heart to feed your soul.
On the mic with Mike.
On the mic with Mike.
On the mic with Mike. On the mic with Mike.
I'm on the mic with Mike.
He's like a guru.
No, he's a businessman with a great radio show.
And he supports the non-profits. Watch his show and grow. 1 p.m. Friday, WNTW. Yeah.
Imagine life without failure. Will there be any gain? Will there be life? We should embrace failure. Then we will have gain. What's my secret? There's no secret. Consistency, faith, hard work, and a good tribe that supports us. Don't be afraid of failure. Embrace it, and you will gain. I am Irvin Rich.
Imagine Virginia as the next hub of innovation. A destination that encourages new ways of thinking, that embraces a strong entrepreneurial community, and strives to create a better place to live, work, and succeed for everyone. At Startup Virginia, we are investing in Virginia's potential, and that starts with our people. We bring ideators, mentors, and investors together to build real connections based on the mutual desire to create real impact. Because we believe in them, we support them. Through people, programs, and place, we provide structure, clarity, and guidance for the entrepreneurial community, transforming high-growth startups into businesses that dramatically shape the economic landscape of Virginia. Instead of waiting for opportunity to knock, we're creating it, because we believe that with passion, vision, and the right resources, anything is possible. Seattle, Austin, Boulder, and now, Richmond. We know Virginia has what it takes to compete on the national stage, and we're here to prove it. Let's get started.
Ready? Hit it!
I'm comedian Shy Tony. You can find me on Instagram at comedian Shy Tony. Also on Facebook and Twitter at the same name, comedian Shy Tony.
Don't look for me on Facebook and Twitter. That's a today.
Oh, you don't mess with Twitter?
I love Twitter, but I don't want you following me. I've said some things.
I feel you. Okay, cool. Yeah. You know? I think I need to hire somebody to run my social media because it's too much to keep up with. I mean, I got to keep up with a Facebook, a Instagram, a Twitter, a Snapchat, a Roku account. It's too much.
Talking to my Black Planet.
Yeah, it's too much watching, and eyes on you. You know?
Women will find you. Women will. I've been found out in many a times. Oh, this is your such and such? No, that ain't me.
Yeah.
This your face.
Oh, another thing. If y'all hungry, you want some good food, please don't come on down here to Stumps Pig and Pint. They got some good ribs. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and get me a plate because I'm just hungry. I ain't ate all day. I'm starving.
That glass of water.
But the food smells wonderful. I haven't had a chance to sit down and eat it yet, but I'm pretty sure it's amazing. So y'all make sure y'all come down here and support local businesses
and whatnot.
Napkins. For real, they got real napkins.
Bruh, the napkins are exquisite, bruh.
Really?
Facts.
Okay, you know, now that you say that, I haven't seen napkins in such quality.
It's like a
before
thread
my
kind of
night.
1,000. It magically came in my hand. Do you see this napkin? You can't get this from Walmart. Okay?
Yeah, this ain't that Dollar General stuff.
No.
This is top shelf.
You can fold
top
it.
Shelf.
And put it in your pocket. You can take it to go. It's a for here and a to go.
See, let me show you something.
Tell them about the napkins.
These the type of napkins that when you go out to eat, you take a bunch of them and you put them in your purse.
You put them in your glove compartment.
And you put them in your glove compartment. Oh yeah, so you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, these type of napkins, you know. So, but no, it's just overall good quality stuff, man. You know. So y'all come on down here, get you some good food. Enjoy the family outings, you know, very good for families.
Bring your side chick. Okay.
Don't bring your side chick. Don't bring your side chick. It's 2020. Side chicks, we stopping all that.
All right,
you know?
No side chicks. Maybe a few.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Chop It Up at Stumps. Here is the beautiful Pavi.
Hello everyone.
So Pavi, tell us a little about yourself and what you do.
Well, I have a business, it's called FinLit, in which I educate the youth to be financially savvy. So right now we have a class going on and it's called Clear Vision for 2020, where I'm teaching the young ones how to set goals, and they're also doing vision boards, but this is pretty much based on to the end of the school year.
Well, sounds great. And Pavi and I are working together. She's going to have a workshop here. Now tell us about the workshop that you're putting together here.
So the workshop here is for our adults. I'll be giving them guidance as far as tips that they can use for their children. Also as far as a little bit of tax tips and financial tips on Mondays from 12:30 to 2 right here. Feel free to give me a call at 804-243-2269. Or you can also text me or message me at Facebook and Instagram at FinLitVA.
All right, everybody. I want to thank everybody for joining us here at Chopping Up at Stumps. And, of course, we're having a smoking good time.